Officially over for the long-running Brisbane Eisteddfod. The Courier Mail reports that the Brizzy Eisteddfod has announced it will formally shut down after 129 years of performances. In a statement, the Executive Management Committee revealed the decision is not based on financial or resource availability.
Yeah, instead, the reasons include a lack of volunteers and a lack of interest by the Eisteddfod and arts community.
Are you saddened by this news? And I thought it was the Rock Eisteddfod. I was getting my Eisteddfods confused.
Brisbane Eisteddfod, and Eisteddfod, first of all, it's a competition that originated in Wales. That's where the word comes from. And it's an arts competition, a broad arts competition. So it involves everything from dance, as you see, to playing musical instruments, to verse speaking, to acting, to singing, to choirs. It covers all ballet. It covers all gamuts of the arts. And I'm an ambassador for the Sydney Eisteddfod here in Sydney, and we're of a similar age, and I find this news absolutely devastating. I found the wording of that statement really bizarre, to say it's not because of a financial issue but because of a lack of volunteers and so forth. You've summed it up there by saying it's volunteers you need to keep it going. That is a financial problem, because if there was government support of Eisteddfods, of these vast arts competitions, then you're no longer relying on volunteers, are you? So, the Sydney Eisteddfod receives, for instance, no government support, but we rely on sponsors and previous people whose lives have been changed by taking part in Eisteddfod, make donations and so forth. So, I mean, I literally credit it with giving me the confidence on stage as a child, which enables me to come on the television and talk now, if you like. It sort of instilled those basic skills. And I know Rhonda Birchmore came up through Eisteddfod's. Dancer Matt Lee came up through Eisteddfod. There's so many people, many opera singers. My own grandmother was an opera singer who came runner-up to Joan Sutherland in the Sydney Eisteddfod in the 1930s. Wow. So and Joan Sutherland was in it too. So there you go. There are these famous alumni. And what makes me just so upset is the arts at this grassroots level just doesn't get the government support that sport does. And I'm not saying take anything away from sport. Sport is crucially important, and keep all the funding to sport. But the arts is just as important. And it both. So this post. That's me as a little girl in one of the dance competitions. But I did verse speaking, and I did public speaking, and I did drama and that sort of thing. And our contest is open for this year now, so anyone who wants to compete can enter now. There's a few days left for late entries. And as I say, it's you're adjudicated, there's prize money. And, it's a chance to strut your stuff on stage and develop that passion for the arts, which is one of the greatest things you can ever have. Hamilton's just opened in theatres, has its big opening night on Saturday, and there are cast members there for whom it's their very first musical, but I can guarantee you that passion for the arts started when they were little. Yeah. And you take those first steps on stage and do whatever it is that takes your fancy, it can lead to magic things.
We always talk about how important it is, like our children and the future generations, and then when it comes to things like this, and we just don't embrace their talents, it just baffles my mind. Like, I know there's a lot of very, very important things happening in the world right now that needs the government support, but so does the future, and we can't neglect stuff like this and then put it down to, well, it's because of the volunteers.
No. You're right.
No. So true. And I mean, I'm no Ange Bishop, and I'm certainly not Ange Bishop's grandmother, but I will have you know that I dominated at the Kingaroy Eisteddfod. And Lady Flo was there every year to give me all of my trophies and my pumpkin scones. And it was a wonderful community, and I continue to have, well, what can only be described as extraordinary skills as a consequence of it. My mother makes me mash my mini M&Ms of a Monday morning.
I will back that to the hilt.
Funny joke.